Hey everybody, I'm Zach Beach, CEO of SmartRealEstateCoach.com, and today is going to be a special day. We're going to nail down two very different deals with one of our new community members, Rick. Not to be confused with Rick Abbiati, this is Rick actually from Florida, completely different world. So stay tuned with us because we are going to nail down some amazing deals, completely different deals as well. We got a deal that's all the way down in St. Pete, Florida. That's got like a $25,000 monthly payment, all the way to Missouri. That's got like $1,100 monthly payment. Completely different worlds there as well. So we're going to share with you today how to be an investor and to be able to invest in multiple different types of assets, from luxury to your traditional rentals out in the Midwest. So please stick with us here. We're going to have an amazing time. If you have not already subscribed to this YouTube channel, I encourage you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button right now, because we bring a Deal Structure Sunday every single Sunday, not on Monday, not on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, but on Sunday. So keep an eye out there, as we've been doing this for many, many years now. So if you haven't watched these, I encourage you to go back as well, because today we're going to dive into two distinctively different real estate strategies. But we always cover how to buy real estate without cash, without credit, without going to banks, and how you can tap into our federally trademarked 3 payday system so you can start creating cash now, monthly, and back-end profits. Rick, welcome to Deal Structure Sunday. How are you, sir?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Hey, you earned it. I mean, when you get deals, you get to come on the show. So I'm quite proud to say that you got two deals that we're going to talk through right now.
Yep, and they were remarkable. They were kind of hard to get, and the other one was fairly easy. Tired landlord.
Sure. Yeah. Which is kind of funny, right? Are you talking about yourself, or are you talking about the gentleman in St. Pete?
Myself.
The tired landlord. So that's a great point, because we are going to teach you how to turn your actual rental, if you own one and you're sick of being a landlord, into a money-producing rent-to-own property as well, so we can be completely hands-off here. Rick's not the first one to be able to do this in our community, but many landlords transition this way as well. But for people to get to know you, Rick, if you could, tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you're located, what you do for a living, and then, what made you join this Wicked Smart community?
I'm in Largo, Florida, so right next to St. Pete, Florida, in Tampa. I am a hospital systems administrator for imaging, so x-ray and cardiac imaging for a bunch of different hospitals for a large corporation. And we started getting into real estate right at the cusp of the beginning of COVID. And we started with flipping properties, and the banks have really just steered us away from being able to loan any or get any loans, and hard money has gotten much more difficult. So I found this, and we're pivoting this way.
Love it. Okay. And previous to working with Smart Real Estate Coach, how many real estate deals have you done?
6.
6, and they were all primarily what, like using the Bird method?
Yeah, mostly buy and holds. And then we bought rentals outright in Missouri, which is one of the ones that's on the deal structure for today.
I love it. Okay. And then you said you're making the pivot because of the current financial market when it comes to real estate investing in itself, the actual resource. Is that accurate?
That is accurate.
Got it. Okay. And then when you joined our community at what level? Like I started
at Jumpstart, and that was in January.
Okay. So you started at Jumpstart January, and then as of today, we're sitting here in May at the filming of this. Tell us about your progress so far as you've kind of been a part of this.
Getting in and doing calls has been, it's been fairly easy to dial. It's just been difficult to pivot within the conversations. It's been a journey. I've learned a lot. And then going to the In the Trenches Bootcamp, I was able to get enough confidence to jump to high 6.
Yeah, I love it.
So that's where I'm at today.
Yes, I know you made a huge jump, right? So you went from a financial commitment of, say, right around, say, $5,000 to now of a 6-figure commitment. What was the difference in confidence? I mean, because we prove day in and day out that no matter what investment you make into our community, that we can help you produce results. So what made you make that big of a jump? Because that's a huge gap in your investment.
Honestly, it was the confidence that you guys gave me. It was between the coaching and the coaching has been phenomenal. And just going and spending time with you guys and having you guys sit right in front of me and have a lot more confidence in me than I even have in myself doing this. I came home and I felt so much more confidence in just making dials and talking to people. It was remarkable.
I love it. And the In the Trenches Bootcamp was what Rick's bringing up. And I'm going to include the application in the show notes because it does come free with all of our community levels. But also, if you want to go ahead and invest in yourself and come to the event itself, it does also come with our Quantum Leap system, which is all of our baseline information, our course in itself. And what we do there is, like, somebody like Rick shows up with his leads, and we make phone calls for Rick for an entire day. And then with the intention to move his leads through his pipeline. And then from there, the second day, now we're structuring deals because we've got a hold of a bunch of people on the first day. And then on day 3, we literally hand you over a game plan, all your KPIs, all your metrics, exactly what you need to accomplish in order to reach your goals. What were your results, Rick, coming out of the In the Trenches Bootcamp?
Well, besides the huge amount of confidence, I've gotten more appointments that we made during the bootcamp, and I've got a contract signed, and you guys helped me structure a deal for my own property.
Pretty powerful couple days, especially for Rick here. Yeah, I think you said somewhere like 3 to 5 appointments we booked directly for you, which is amazing because if you look at our KPIs, it's roughly say 1 in 4 or 2 out of 4 deal or appointments you get. You're eventually going to get a property under agreement. So there's potentially a couple deals that Rick just grabbed directly from showing up at that event for a couple days. Let's start with your property out in Florida. So we'll start there first. Walk us through how you found this lead. Like, what's the seller's motivation, and then we'll go from there.
So I found the lead on the expired list from MyPlusLeads. Seller's motivation was he is trying to sell off everything to move back to Lithuania. He's just trying to liquidate everything. And I think this is the biggest property he has, and he has others around Tampa Bay. So I'm going to see about getting the rest of them and seeing what we can do with those too. And I went to the appointment. I had Russ, one of the other coaches, did a 3-way. He was really interested, had some questions, which was fine. And then we went back and forth a little bit. And then when I went to the boot camp, Zach, talked to him and finalized me getting the contract signed within a week.
So on this deal in particular, you had Russell, who's our 90 or our Jumpstart coach, get on the phone and help initiate this deal. Then I jumped on the phone. We were live in person, and then you got the contract signed. And then my guess is you went and connected with either Rick or Nick or Mike or Chris, another coach, in order to help you now structure the exit on this deal as well. So you've had 3 coaches indirectly be able to help you structure this particular deal.
Yeah, Nick helped me a lot on both of these because I've never done this before, and this was it was a really good, and it was a lot of hand holding. So I totally give a lot of props to Nick.
Yeah, and those you don't know, Nick Prefontaine, he's the buyer specialist, one of our coaches, but also one of the partners in my brother-in-law. As you see in this deal, I mean, I was looking at the views. So this property, which is definitely unique, it's a duplex, right? It has 2 different sides of this particular property.
Correct. It's a pair of duplexes. What you're looking at right there is one side of the elevator that goes all the way up to the top.
And there's also an elevator in this property.
Each townhome has an elevator.
That's wild. And how many townhomes are there?
2.
There's 2 townhomes.
2 townhomes, 1 deed.
Yeah, which is pretty. It's gonna be a huge opportunity for somebody that's looking to bring their families together or be able to live in one side and rent the other side in order to supplement this monthly payment. Awesome opportunity here. So then let's go ahead and walk through this actual deal structure itself, and then we'll move to another deal because I wanted to share with you guys 2 completely different extremes here, right? We have like a $4 point something million property, in Tampa Bay or St. Pete's, and most would say like you can't do these types of structures on these deals. And this is definitely one of the largest properties that we put under agreement. We've had a couple multi-million-dollar properties. I am going to say this, Rick, and just so everybody, like expectations of closing this deal, I would say it's like 50-50. And actually finding a tenant buyer or somebody that has the ability to acquire this. Why is that the case? Even though 80% of the market cannot walk into a bank and get a loan, still once you get up into the multi-million-dollar range, there's still less and less people. But if anybody can pull this off, it's definitely going to be you, Rick, and in a place like Tampa Bay, where certainly there is a lot of liquid assets in and around that area. Let's walk through this. So this is a sign-out deal, correct?
It's an assign-out, yes.
Yeah, and the reason why we would encourage Rick to do an assign-out deal right off the bat, no matter what, is one of his first deals, huge mortgage payment or monthly payment, and really high purchase price. So committing to a deal like that, especially at the beginning of your journey, I would not advise. So a great opportunity for Rick would be, okay, let me go ahead, put this thing under agreement. Let me take it to market to my tenant buyers. Then once I have a buyer in hand, I can walk it through the entire structure, assign this buyer back to the seller. Now the seller is getting part of a non-refundable deposit. They're getting their price. They're getting potentially monthly cash flow, and it's a shorter time frame for these structures because Rick's not in the middle worrying about the time frame. All right, and you said the source of this deal was a what? Where do we find it?
It's an expired from MyPlusLeads.
Okay, and if you're not currently using MyPlusLeads and you're looking for creative deals, I'd highly recommend you utilize them. They give a database with all the information that you need to be able to contact the seller, names, numbers, emails, and addresses for a very nominal investment each and every month. If you want a free trial, go to smartrealestatecoach.com/MyPlusLeads. Okay, so we got an expired listing. What do we put the property under agreement for?
It was to be determined as far as the term goes.
Okay.
Because we weren't sure what we were going to find.
Yeah, because we don't know how long this is going to take in order to find that tenant buyer.
Right.
If you haven't already, just because of the luxury homes, I would encourage you to probably reach out to any luxury type realtors in the area and let them know that you do have a rent to own and potential seller financing deal. Because they're definitely going to have the list of the people that would have this type of money, but maybe can't get bank loans right now. All right, what do we tie it up for as far as the purchase price?
The purchase price, he's selling it for $4.5 million, and we knocked it up to $4.7 million.
Okay, so you have it under agreement with him for 4.5, and then we're gonna go ahead and sell this thing for 4. We're just putting 200,000 on top of it for 4.7.
Yep.
This is projected, so I have all the faith in the world that you're going to crush this. We're going to have to bring you back on the deal structure Sunday and see how much actual non-refundable deposit you grabbed. But we'll make the projection here and assume that we're going to get 10% down. And out of that, you can make your capped at about 200,000.
235.
235. Correction, I want you to keep that 35,000. Also, what can happen on these types of deals is that sometimes this is all up front, and other times it'll come over time. So Rick could potentially create an annuity out of this where maybe they collect $200,000 up front, and then every 6 months they collect another couple $100,000 or $100,000 every 6 months. Rick now has the ability to secure part of that non-refundable deposit until he reaches his cap at 235. So cool opportunity for you to structure there as well. What are you going to market for rent again? It's how much?
I believe it was 2,500, or sorry, 25,000.
Yeah, 25,000, because I believe all the taxes and everything are huge here right now. Got it. All right, so this is where it's going to probably your biggest challenge is securing a buyer that can handle the 25,000. But I mean, somebody that's looking to buy a $4.7 million house, you'd assume, has plenty of cash flow coming in like that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Awesome. With this particular deal, any lessons learned or anything as far as some now new knowledge that you've accumulated by simply going through this deal process right now before we jump to the next deal?
Yeah. When I talked to him and when I met him, I never looked at the price. And when I found out what it was kind of a sticker shock. But when I met him, just a regular guy, nothing different. Normally, I've heard a lot of people with, oh, I wouldn't call anything with that big of a price. Well, why? Why not?
I love it. That's awesome. So you never felt any type of way is where I was going with that. But yeah, you didn't have any self-confidence challenges calling on a property that's worth $4.5 million.
No, he was open to hear what the options were. He was interested. And when I went to go meet him, he had some questions. We went through the property. We checked it out. He was giving me the tour. We got Russ on the phone, which reiterated the same basics that I had already told him. And then we talked a bit for a little while and got more of his history, which was fascinating. So just going out and meeting people has just been really good for me. It's been fascinating.
I love it. What we've actually found is that the higher priced properties, you tend to be able to have or tend to be more open to creative financing because they either are financially savvy and they see the benefits when it comes to these types of structures, or two is they're more open to it because it's not their only asset. So it's not like they need to sell this property in order to buy their next one, which tends to be a challenge if we're trying to do a creative financing deal with somebody that's their main residence. So yeah, I do encourage each and every one of you to go out there and make calls to some of these luxury properties, or do not lock yourself into a certain box, because there are some really great opportunities out there. And one of these deals, like a $235,000, be able to make that on one deal, huge opportunity, and I'm sure it'd be an absolute game changer for you. Let's jump to your next deal. So this was actually a property that we then spoke about when you were at the In the Trenches Bootcamp. And you said, look, I got this rental property. I'd like to transition it to a rent to own. Can you guys help me with that? So maybe walk us through the process, because I'm sure that there's somebody watching this right now that is a landlord, is tired, maybe wants to look for other opportunities, but still wants to make money off the property. Maybe doesn't want to exit out of it just yet. So walk us through your thought process by restructuring your current rental property.
Well, we bought this property as a turnkey in Missouri, and it's been kind of very, very slim as far as any kind of money coming in. And we decided right after the last renter just left, we decided let's see if we can lease purchase this, or we were actually just thinking about selling it outright. And then when I found Wicked Smart, I was like, let's lease purchase this thing. And going through the numbers, I'm amazed at how much more I would make than sitting around just collecting like $200 a month.
Yeah, because you can pull some of your profits off the table day one because you're collecting a large non-refundable deposit, which then allows you to do it. Plus, you're selling it for a premium versus selling it for the current price right now. So it's a great little property. And if you are just getting involved in this type of creative financing deal and exiting on rent to own, then it also, and maybe you can attest to this, and that is it's giving you another opportunity to move through the buyer side more quickly because you have access to this, which is going to probably shorten your learning curve. Maybe you can speak to that as well.
As soon as we put it on the market, the response for it was absolutely nuts. I've been getting phone calls, texts, emails through Prosperity. It's been amazing. And again, talking to buyers is 10 times easier than talking to sellers, because I'm not trying to explain something to them that they're trying to get into. These people are trying to buy a house. So it's been a lot easier talking to the buyer side, but it's been taking up a lot of time.
Sure. Yeah. Buyer side is all about sifting and sorting and finding the right person that you want to accept or make that bet on based upon their entire package. Rick brought up propsperity.io. I'll include the link in the show notes as well. This was actually an idea brought to us by one of our community members. And we have this platform now where everybody has access to be able to market their properties on 50 plus platforms all at the same time, be able to collect monthly payments from your tenant buyers, so processing and actually reporting on these for a very low price as well. So go ahead and check that out as well. You can book a call with the team at propsperity.io. Walk me through, all right, so this is a deal type. We're going to sell this on rent to own. Sources yourself. It's your property. The term we'll probably be aiming for, even though it probably doesn't matter too much for you, it'd be probably 36 months. What's the debt on this property?
The debt is 133, 141.
And the amount of equity by what we're selling it for is how much?
116, 759.
16,759. Okay, so that brings us to a purchase price of how much?
249.9.
249.9. Awesome. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go sell it for 249.9. All right. Again, this is just entered the market. When you say you're like, this is causing or tons of people, what's the lead flow looking like for you on this current property?
It's insane. It's a great problem to have because I've been getting so many people reaching out, so many people interested, and a lot of people realizing that it's not just a rental, it's a rent to own, and they're a lot more interested in that than just a rental. So it's been phenomenal.
Well, I can imagine. I mean, we showed the price point like $1,100 on that market, and I can almost guarantee you're probably the only rent to own property on the market in that area, which gives you a huge advantage.
This is true, and that's kind of the other thing I was hearing. They thought a lot of people were just thinking it was a regular rental because that's what they're looking for. Yeah. But when I tell them no, it's a rent to own. It's a lease purchase. It's a rent to own. So you're actually going to buy the house at the end of the term. Oh, and then they want to hear more, which is good because I sent them the videos. They want the videos, and do you have any questions? And I've been able to field those out a lot better as I go along. Each time I talk to somebody, I learn something new, and I'm able to pass it on to the next person I talk to.
Love it. So our projected, we'll project at about 10% down. That could come up front and over time. My guess is with a 249.9 house, it's probably going to be anywhere from say 3 to 7% down, and then up front, and then up to 10% over time, which would be great cash flow for you. Monthly payment on, what's your current overhead monthly payment?
1027.28.
Okay. And then the buyer. So we're on the market for how much?
It's 1,100, and then plus taxes, so it'd be 1238.40.
1238.40. Okay. So the cash flow on this is
211.12.
12 times, let's choose 36 months.
$7,600.
Okay. I'm curious, what are you getting right now for rent? I know that you did some turnover, but what were you getting for rent on this property originally?
Well, that's part of the problem. The rent right now was $900, and it was almost $1,000, $978.
Yep.
However, the taxes have recently changed in Missouri, so now the PITI doesn't cover. My rental does not cover the PITI.
I mean, we're seeing that all across the country. We're actually seeing that a lot with single family homeowners too, where like they went and bought the property, I would say during COVID or like right at the beginning of COVID. And now because the prices have gone up, people have reassessed the towns and cities and states are reassessing all the values. So now all of a sudden the tax rates are drastically jumping up, and some people can't afford it. Or like yourself, now you find yourself where you're upside down your monthly payment because you also have a property management as well. So now you have an asset that's negative cash flow, and it's not that you're. I would assume it's not that you're in like a drastically appreciating market too, where you're just doing it for appreciation.
No, it's not. It's not a drastic appreciating market, and we really just wanted to keep this thing and do $100 a month and keep it as a asset to cash out on later.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. I mean, I'm so glad you joined the community so that we can help you with this strategy. But there's so many people out there that I speak to on a daily basis as sellers or investors that are in the exact same spot as you. All right, so the price premium on this is what?
The 249 minus the 133, it's 116,759.
116,759. Principal pay down. How much principal are we paying down each month?
The 185 times 36, it was 6,664.
6,664.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the principal pay down. So then we already collected a deposit of 24.9. So the back end, you're receiving how much?
98,523 and 68 cents.
Awesome. So let's walk through this. So you got 24,000 plus 7,600 plus 98,523. What do we got for total profit on this?
131,023.
131,023. I'm curious because that'll be all the equity that you receive towards the end. What did you originally buy this property for?
176,000.
So 176,000. So then,
well, that was the purchase price. We only had to put down 20% of that.
Yeah.
So
Well,
out of the money that we put down, I'm making quite a decent profit on that.
yeah. So let's see. Like, how much money did you have to put down? You put down 20%.
Mm-hmm.
On 176, was that like 30 grand?
Yeah. Let me do the math real quick. That was a couple years ago.
Well, let's just assume rough
Yeah, it's 52.
52.
Yeah.
Okay, so you roughly put down 52,000 to enter into this deal a couple years back. You're now a couple years later going to receive about 131,000. That's a pretty good rate of return on your investment.
I think so.
I love it. Very good. Okay. Any again, two deals, right? Two deals that you're able to let's even net that out. So you're basically netting like 76,000 out of that. So two deals that you're doing right now that we have with these two properties that we just talked about could potentially yield you roughly 300,000 over the next, say, 3 years. With that, Rick, any thoughts or maybe ahas or anything like that now that you've gone through the process, maybe that you didn't know before you went through this process?
Oh, there were so many. I mean, I would just jump for joy right now, knowing the numbers that I'm going to get out of the properties that I worked on and the one that we bought and are turning around and lease purchasing. Yeah, lots of aha moments. I couldn't really pick one in particular, except it's been a freaking fantastic journey, and having you guys help me with this has been absolutely phenomenal.
Love it. Knowing what you know now, like you're speaking to somebody that's looking to get involved in real estate investing or has an interest in Smart Real Estate Coach. Any thoughts for them before we hop off?
Knowing what I know now and the path that we started with, I wish I would have found you guys first. I would have jumped into this much earlier.
Love it.
So don't delay. Oh my God, it's been a remarkable learning experience. I have learned so much, and just the day to day, just putting an hour in a day or 2 hours a day just to make calls and do things has been just awesome.
Awesome. Well, Rick, amazing job. This has been awesome to work with you so far on the beginning of your real estate journey here as well. And another amazing deal structure Sunday where we brought you two deals that are going to equate to a net of anywhere around $300,000+ here with Rick. So certainly if I can figure it out and Rick can figure it out, you certainly can do as well. Again, if you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button. And if you want to meet people just like Rick, so that way you can go ahead and start investing in yourself, go ahead and come to our upcoming live event. It's going to be in Boston in September. I'll include it in the show notes. QLS Live. Anytime we get together, there is millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of creative financing real estate deals. So let's show you how to do it and do it right. Everybody have an amazing Sunday, and we'll see you again soon.